So let me see if I have this straight. You put your career front and center. You choose the bad boys over the good guys. You sleep around, and your expectations for what you think you deserve are off the charts. Yeah, so that's why you're not married.
Why am I not married? Well, I just have two simple requirements. First one is you would have to sign a prenup because whatever I built prior to the marriage is mine and vice versa. Whatever we built together, we will split if things do not work out. The second one is you would have to get a vasectomy because I don't want children. And I'm so sorry, but no random female is going to try to come sue me because you got caught slipping. So most times when I say the word vasectomy, people cop out.
It used to be a time that fairy tales were true. The king and the queen and all the pills were blue. But then the pill changed, the red pill's the truth. Forget the married life, I got better things to do. Stack money.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out, which are typically around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Next, I would not be talking about all women, even though it feels like it. And if it feels like I'm talking about you, you got to check yourself because I'm not talking about all women, just a specific type.
Nigga, what?
Next, if you're looking for the music to the intro and you want the link to the second channel, both are below in the description. My second channel has nothing to do with women. All right, guys, today I'm going to be talking about if you thought that you was going to be happily married by now in your life, you need to watch this video. And the reason why I'm making this video is because this is one of the big reasons why a lot of you guys are here is due to the fact that you tried to chase this fairy tale of a marriage and came up short. Obviously, you learned throughout this process that life is not a fairy tale, and what you've been taught has been backwards because you've been taught that by a woman. A woman has taught you how to be the man that women don't want, but a servant to give her the confidence to chase the guy that don't want her. You have also understood that love is nothing but you accepting the negativity of a person. Pretty much when you tell a person that you love them, you say, you know what? I'm gonna keep forgiving you for everything you do. The only time that we're gonna break up is if you decide to leave me. That's what pretty much love says. You're giving her the power to do whatever she wants, and you're going to forgive her. And it works on both ends too. But this is a men's channel, so I got to keep it straight and 100. All right, so today I'm going to be breaking down why you're not happily married and the problems that have happened with life that's causing everyone to go through these traumatized situations with relationships and marriage. Let's get to it. First, the world has changed. All right, I don't care what anybody says. This has been a real strange 10 years and a real strange last 2 years. It seems like in the last 2 years, everybody's just been running buck wild. We're living in a wild, wild west. There's no such thing as real anymore. All right, people don't want the truth anymore because the lies are more entertaining. People are placing together fake lives just so they can record it to make it look real for people that are sitting at home, such as yourself, that don't really leave the house that much. Due to the fact that a lot of you do not leave the house that much, your reality is whoever you subconsciously connect to on the internet. What am I saying? When you log into the internet, it's more likely you're going to gravitate towards the person that you feel the same energy with, that you see yourself with, so you vicariously live through them. Back in the day, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, everybody was still trying to be their own individual. We didn't have too much of a bot mindset. But now that we have a bot mindset, the men and the women that are getting married are specifically bots, which means that they're getting married for Instagram pictures. They're getting married for themes, just to live out a theme to say they do it. It's more manipulation on the woman's end, but it's also brain control on the man's end into thinking that as long as he loves the woman, she's supposed to love him back. And guys don't have any street smarts when it comes to women to be able to tell if she truly loves them or not. A lot of these guys are just going off the fact that, well, if she didn't like me, she wouldn't be in a relationship with me. If she didn't like me, we wouldn't be together. No, women understand that there are more women than men on the planet, but they always want a man so they can at least say they have somebody to treat them like a queen. So to them, they'll rather grab the weakest man to pull him in order for her to feel better about herself. On his end, he's like, man, I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything right. You are doing everything right until you ask her to marry you. And then when you ask her to marry you, that's when you get a dose of reality. Look at how many guys in the past 2 years have proposed to their woman and just got shut completely down. Have you had some women doing that? Yes, but most of the women doing it were staged. It was just like a little gimmick that everybody decided to go along with. But most of these guys out here that have asked a woman to marry them has been genuinely sincere about it and have been coming up short. Why? Because the world has changed. There's no longer physicality and reality. Everything is virtual. All right? What you're seeing is a fake world. The only way to actually live in true happiness nowadays, you have to be able to separate yourself from the internet and reality and start focusing on more reality things, because majority of the women are actually stuck inside the matrix. No matter what they say, a woman always has to go to the matrix in order to feel good about herself. When she walks around in public, she's not going to get the same compliments that she's going to get online. So understand, marriage nowadays is nothing but a thing. Next, you're better off alone than being with someone. That's not saying just run off and be lonely, but it's also not saying just give up on marriage and be with a woman. What it's saying is everyone has their own agendas. Everyone has their reality based off of what they've been doing. You have people out there that have never been through problems in their lifestyle, right? They've never been through problems in real life. The only problems that they have is not getting enough likes online. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting enough views online. So they take that misery and walk around in the rest of the world because they're not getting that many likes. Look how they took away the dislikes just to control people's depression. So what you have to understand is majority of people out here are depressed for virtual reality things. That if you're a person who wants to live reality, chances are you're going to always be next to someone who's living inside the matrix, who's getting all their mood swings from the matrix. So why would you want to be around people who are being controlled by a system? When you guys go red pill, you're not going to be controlled by a system. You're going to look at religion different. You're going to look at politics different. You're going to look at women different. You're going to look at the whole structure of life differently. So when you start looking at all these things differently, you can see how all these entities actually guide the happiness of a person. So you're better off alone if you know you can't be manipulated into someone else's world. Next, there's other ways to find success and happiness. There's a million ways out here to get rich. You just got to choose one of them. That's it. Choose one way to get rich and wake up every day and give that to the grind. That's what you get success at. You want to be a successful YouTuber? You got to get up and get on the grind. You got to be prepared to film every day. But one thing is, relationships don't have any happiness to it. They're only soul draining. You don't believe me? Go ask the average married guy out here. He'll tell you his soul is being drained. So people have found other ways to become happy and other ways to become successful. Not just men, but women as well. You have a group of women out there that have never been taught how to be feminine, to be a woman, that is actually hurting them to try to act like a housewife. You have women that go through those phases where they're just like, man, you know what? I can't cook. I can't clean. I don't know how to take care of no kids. And then they try to get in these relationships and it just doesn't work. So they find themselves being happy sitting at home rubbing their cats. Now, you may think that it sounds miserable because you want to be in a relationship, but understand how you are now. The older you get, the more experiences you've been through, the more knowledge you have, the more wisdom you have. When you have wisdom, you know what to avoid. You know what problems to avoid. When it comes to a lot of these women nowadays, you can read them from head to toe. So there's really no reason for you to try to find any happiness in them and a relationship when you already know what makes you happy, what makes you sad, and you've been able to adjust that living alone. When you're with someone, you spend all your time trying to adjust to them and find a medium for both of y'all, and sometimes you never get there. Next, marriage costs too much financially and emotionally. And the reason why is because the women are doing it for the things. The guys are doing it for the love. And I said it in my last video. The guys that want the marriage more than a woman is going to always end up with the wrong woman, because you're going to place yourself in a position to be used. You're going to try to leverage your money for interest. You're going to always make sure she's okay, so she's going to look at you as simping. And girls are going to be like, oh, so you mean to tell me you're going to give me all your money and you're going to treat me like a queen every day, even if I have an attitude, all because you love me? All right, cool. I'm going to be with you. Then she going to bone dry you. She going to take all your money, and then when she gets sick of you nagging and whining and complaining, and she realized that you broke trying to keep her, that's when she really going to leave you. That's when she going to leave you out to dry, and that's what a lot of you guys catch. You catch the brute end of the stick because you done spent all your money, you done gave up everything emotionally, and she still did you wrong. One thing about a woman that I've learned is that it's an ongoing cycle of trying to make her happy. That's why you have to do things slowly with her. Start off at McDonald's and then work your way up into these 5-star restaurants. If she's demanding a 5-star restaurant from the gate, it's time for you to go. But all of that's going to be based how you treat it based on your desperation. But one thing about a marriage and relationships, if you ain't prepared to argue, fight, make up, break up, and tell everybody your business, you just can't get involved. Women are living their life like they trying to write a book after. You just got to keep it G for your chapter, bro. Next, you don't need an excuse to have a party. Everybody that's married with kids, they want to always throw a party. They want to always throw a get together. That's the whole point of having a wedding, to have a gigantic party to show people what? That you gonna be the guy that get played? That's what happens when you go to somebody's wedding. Most of the people at the wedding are like, man, I ain't even know they was getting ready to get married. I ain't even know this was getting ready to go down. Most people that are at your wedding are people that have never seen the relationship. They may have heard of the relationship, but people want to get married just to have a whole bunch of people show up to act like they care about you. Then after the wedding, you don't even see these people anymore. You have 500 people at your wedding. Then after your wedding, you don't even see them anymore. And a couple years later down the road, you're going through the breakup. It's the same cycle. Every man that's married is going through those cycles now. And everybody on the outside is just looking in. I actually like the way that the world is going, because now we're in the survival of the fittest. If you can't think or swim, it ain't going to work. You're going to keep swimming. You got to be able to think. All right? In today's world, it is already designed for you to fail. They're doing population control. Men don't want kids no more. Men don't want to get married. Women don't want to have kids. It's already a decrease in the birth rate. In the next 10 years, it's just going to be about who can survive and who can't survive. All right? This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully, you guys are able to get the message. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.